Hello everyone, I am Zazubaar, and today I am here with my good friend and fellow geeky gentleman, SYDPART2 / Ian Harrington.
Hi!
And today, Ian is joining us on the channel to not do another episode of Bad Capella, though we should do that at some point in the not-too-distant future.
I'm sure that a little bit of it they'll get a nice little preview of Bad Capella during this.
Oh, for sure, for sure. But Ian is joining us today to do a review of a recent movie. How often do I fucking do this? Not very often, I'll have you know. When I sit down with a good pal of mine, just shoot the shit about a movie that just came out, like we just came out of the theater, and you're in the midst of the conversation hearing us talk about it. And what is that movie, ladies and gentlemen? Well, it is the latest installment in the Marvel Cinematic Avengers universe, Captain America: The Winter Soldier. Of course, a sequel to Captain America: The First Avenger.
And the Avengers.
Right, of course. And it's interesting you say that right off the bat because... what we're going to do is we're going to do a couple minutes of non-spoiler, kind of general thoughts, not spoiling anything, and then we're going to jump into a spoilers discussion. So we'll let you know when we're going to get into spoilers, but if you haven't seen the movie yet and you're looking for whether or not it's good, why the fuck are you looking to us? But just stick around for the first couple minutes. We'll let you know when we're going to start spoiling stuff. But to jump on your point, this movie really impressed me at how it's a really good sequel to Captain America: First Avenger, but also a really strong continuation of what happened in the Avengers.
It's a lot like The Dark Knight Rises in that way. In that Dark Knight Rises was a sequel to both Begins and The Dark Knight equally, because you couldn't have had it without both of those movies. And
of course,
that's
yeah.
exactly what Captain America 2 is you can
Yeah.
have the story that's told here without both the First Avenger and the Avengers.
Right, which is interesting because based on the trailers, I was expecting something a lot closer to being much more of a continuation of the Avengers rather than really using the events of First Avenger to tell this new story, and that's completely wrong. It is a sequel in every sense of the word.
Mm-hmm.
All the events of the first film are incredibly relevant, are looked back upon constantly, and are totally necessary to the events of this movie, and they're used in really interesting ways I didn't see coming at all.
Yeah, I mean, it is really perfect. It's great to see, so often with superhero sequels, they just have, especially when they switch directors like this did, there's
yeah,
like,
that was a big thing, too.
It totally feels like a reboot with the same actor, you know?
Yeah, like X-Men Last Stand had that problem. And we'll see, and I haven't seen First Class, but based on what I've heard, we'll see if Days of Future Past has that problem.
Yeah.
Though it's probably less likely because Bryan Singer was involved in the first one. But this movie really impressed me. I mean, it's just... For one thing, I never walk into a Captain America movie. Maybe this is going to sound a little weird, but I never walk into a Captain America movie expecting it to be this good.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you hear the name Captain America, and you think back upon the history of the character. Like, when I walked out of First Avenger, I loved First Avenger. I think I've told you this off recording. It's my second favorite pre-Avengers Marvel movie, Phase 1 Marvel movie.
It's
right after
coming
the first
around
Iron
for
Man.
me. I had my problems with it, but that was based
As
on
do
marketing.
Yeah, I would
and
say
there's a couple little things about it, but mainly based around the marketing that it had. It really kind of tainted my view of First Avenger for the longest time, but I have really come around on it since. But this isn't my favorite Marvel movie of Phase 2 or of, the Avengers franchise. This is my favorite Marvel movie, period.
Are you kidding me?
Not shitting you. It took me a while.
You like this better than Avengers?
Yeah, I was wrestling with it for a couple days, and
Really? Oh, we got to talk about this.
Yeah, and I can say this non-spoiler. The reason I like this better than Avengers is a lot of fun. It's really entertaining, but that's all it is. Avengers is entertaining. This is a good movie that actually says something. Which, I'm not expecting in a Marvel movie, because Marvel...
Or a Captain America movie.
Yeah, Marvel's a popcorn franchise, and there's nothing wrong with that. Don't take that as an insult, people. I love popcorn just as much as the next guy, but it doesn't mean that just because something's good popcorn, just because it makes a lot of money, doesn't mean it's good. But this is both, which is really impressive. This is, like, I wrestled with it for a couple of days. For a while, I was like, no, I still really like Incredible Hulk, but Incredible Hulk doesn't have the exact same amount of depth, and it doesn't really say anything in particular, especially in a social criticism kind of way. I'm a sucker for social criticism, and there's a lot of that in this movie, which makes it really entertaining, and I was surprised just how relevant social criticism is.
Yeah, it's really kind of a juggling act, because they're doing, especially the first half hour, because the first half hour is filled with a lot of really disconnected ideas. Like, when I heard Falcon was going to be in this movie, I was really concerned that he was going to both take screen time away from Captain America, but also kind of intrude on a plot that may have been better off without him. But that's not true at all. What was that?
Not the case at all. He was fit.
No, he enhances it, and he's a badass, bro. He's fucking kicking ass, and a really interesting character. Didn't expect that. I really liked him. And I mean, it's like, you never think you're going to walk out of a Captain America movie or a Marvel movie going, Falcon was awesome. Like, Falcon in the comics was, I mean, I'm not terribly familiar with him, but based on stuff I've heard, like, when he was first introduced, it's like he's not a very badass, he was kind of racist when he first started.
Oh, was he like the stereotypical black character or something?
He was like, hey, Cap, we gotta stop that old bugaboo.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that's bad. It was bad. And that's not me, like, exaggerating. That's like lines from the fucking thing.
Oh, quick side note, if you don't mind.
Sure.
So I was at work the other day talking to a friend of mine who's like, he's like a, semi-geek. He calls himself a gawk. He's half geek, half jock.
That sounds really gay.
Right? Anyway, yeah, it does, because it kind of sounds like cock. Anyway.
Or gay cock.
he used the term, not me. Anyway,
Right, yeah.
But, like, I told him about Cap 2, and I was like, wait, they're making a Captain America movie? I'm like, dude, it's a sequel. Wait, they made a Captain America? Like, he didn't believe me that a Captain America movie existed. I'm like, yeah, he got the vibranium shield and everything. It's like, vibranium? Black Panther. Black Panther? I'm like, you don't know who Black Panther is? Isn't that a joke? I thought that was just like a fake superhero that someone made up. No, Black Panther's a badass.
He's awesome.
No, anyway, sorry,
Yeah, that is really funny. But let me just say this before I forget. One thing I was really impressed with, or I was worried about going into, and then impressed with for it not being a problem, was one of the things I loved about First Avenger was how stylistic it was, and how really engrossing this comic book alternate history of World War II universe was, and how just different it looked from all the other modern action movies that have been coming out at the time and are still coming out. One problem I had with the trailers was that's kind of what they were marketing, was a kind of typical modern superhero spy thriller. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense with Captain America, but in terms of being a sequel to that first really almost tribute to serials and really classic film, it might not work for me. And I was also concerned about that because the director was different. That's something that Joe Johnston really brought to First Avenger, and he also has brought to other movies like The Wolfman had a lot of that.
And The Rocketeer.
And when I found out it was going to be a different guy, wasn't it two guys?
Yeah, I haven't done the research on it, but I knew it was going to be a different team.
Yeah, and I was worried that it was going to kind of look like every other movie now. And I mean, it definitely doesn't have the same stylistic feel, but it does feel very, very, it feels like a sequel to First Avenger.
See, I would disagree with you as, like, visually, I don't think it looked as stylized. I thought it looked, it kind of blended in with most other action movies today, I think. So I don't think it stood out, like, just visually speaking, I don't think it stood out in that way. And that's just me personally, but that didn't matter because I think what it was doing both on screen and with the script was really fantastic.
Yeah. And this will probably be the thing that gets us into spoilers, but I was kind of disappointed with what they did with the Winter Soldier. Because obviously the big thing was, this is not a plot twist. Everybody fucking knows who the Winter Soldier is, who is a comic book fan. Obviously people who don't know comics are most likely going to go in and go, I don't know who the Winter Soldier is, and that would be a plot twist for them. But most people knew it was going to be who it was, and I guess we'll save that if, God forbid, somebody's listening who doesn't know.
Well, let's go ahead and just, say...
Well, hang on, let me make this point first.
Okay.
I thought that there was so much other stuff, really interesting and well-done stuff going on in the movie, that it took away from the Winter Soldier. And that his you know, and him being the subheading, I was like, that's kind of a problem. Because he's supposed to be the main villain. It's supposed to be his struggle with Captain America based on the title and based on, you know, just him being this primary force. And it should have been, given who it is.
Yeah.
That he's really in the background the whole time. And for a background villain like that, that's fine, as long as their presence is always there and he's not.
Okay, let's just real quick. I want to respond to that point, but I can't do it without spoilers. So,
all right. Well, let's just. Do you recommend this movie?
Definitely go see it. Go see it while it's in theaters. The visuals are astounding and deserve to be seen on the big screen.
Go see it in a nice movie theater, and you will be amazed. It is a beautiful movie. Although the first 10 minutes are way too dark, but we'll get to that in a minute.
Okay. All right. So let me.
But spoilers now. If you haven't seen the movie yet, spoilers. Turn this off. Spoilers in 3, 2, 1. Spoilers.
Okay, so, yes, I agree with you that the subheading is misleading. I think the movie should honestly be renamed Captain America 2, The Return of Hydra. Or The Rise of Hydra, something like that. It should honestly be renamed that. But, that being said, you can't name it something that actually fits with what the movie's about and have that big turn be as important as it is.
No, well, like, that plot twist is better than the Bucky plot twist. I don't think that should be the title. I don't know, maybe just call it Captain America 2.
Yeah, fair enough, but they don't... comic book movies are trying to move away from that, and that's fair enough. The thing is, honestly, it looks like Cap 3 is going to be more about the Winter Soldier and Bucky figuring out who he is. So, yes and no.
It's not his story, and that bothered me because he's a really interesting premise for a character, and he kind of gets the shaft in his movie.
Yeah, but at the same time, everything that Cap finds out, he finds out because of things done by the Winter Soldier, right? Done by Hydra, but done because they are in control of the Winter Soldier. So that's the part that you have to remember is, you know, Cap starts figuring things out because Fury tells him that S.H.I.E.L.D. is compromised, and how does he learn that S.H.I.E.L.D. is compromised? Or what immediately sets him up for that is Fury gets shot and Cap chases down Winter Soldier, and then the whole movie is him trying to get a hold of that guy, up until he figures out just how deep Hydra is into S.H.I.E.L.D., you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I'm not saying the Winter Soldier isn't important. He absolutely is, and a linchpin in the plot. But he's not the focal point, and everything else in the movie, he almost comes off like a henchman to me.
Yeah, and I mean, he is. He's a brainwashed henchman.
Yeah, no, I know, but he's also built up as this character who has literally changed the course of history.
Yeah.
And for a character who has changed the course of human history, he sure as fuck doesn't have a lot of presence in the movie.
Well, actually, you know, how many times have you seen it thus far?
I've only seen it once.
Me too. I feel like I'm agreeing with you, but at the same time, knowing as much as I do about the Hydra reveal now, since I was trying to figure out that plot thread instead of really paying attention to Bucky, it might need a second watch to see just how instrumental Bucky is to the plot.
It might be like the Mandarin thing, where it'll annoy me a lot less the second time I see it.
Yeah.
And I have rewatched Iron Man 3 twice after seeing it in theaters, and I enjoy it a lot more.
Uh-huh.
But still, goddamn Mandarin. Anyway, it's really frustrating because I don't know how you could fix it. You know what I mean? Because everything else is so good that I don't want it to lose screen time, and I like what they do with Bucky.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's a really strong use of continuity with the first movie to explain, A, how he survived the fall, and how he becomes the Winter Soldier, and also how he's not aged.
Yeah,
that was really clever.
Cryo freeze was really clever and stuff. And I like how fast they did all that exposition just through, flashbacks he was having. That was really fucking clever, with Zola there and everything.
Right, I'm also sure they knew people would have guessed it on their own, so they didn't want to linger on it when they didn't have to. I thought that was really good use of timing.
Yeah, I mean, I was really impressed by everything that they were able to do with it. Like, honestly, I think I think we're being a little too harsh on Bucky because I think he'll probably be better than our first impression was. Because honestly, this is the same kind of reaction I had with Two-Face in The Dark Knight. At the first time I saw it, I was like, wow, Two-Face really didn't get a lot to do, and his motivation seemed really forced. And the more times I watched that movie, the more I was like, oh, no, not at all, Ian. You just missed this.
You think it would help, but I think that would... See, I don't know if I totally agree with that, though, because the difference with The Dark Knight is that Harvey Dent is one of the main characters throughout the whole movie. Bucky isn't. And more than that, it would be less of a problem if Bucky had a lot of screen time in First Avenger, and he doesn't.
Yeah.
So, it kind of makes... Like, I joked about this with you off recording, like, it got so... Like, it was... Like, I didn't know him so much that when he popped up, I was like, that's not the same actor, is it? Like, to me, I look at a picture of him as Bucky, and I look at him as the Winter Soldier, I'm like, they don't look like the same person to me. And that's just because I saw that guy so little, that with the long hair and the beard, I'm like, that doesn't look like the same guy to me. Like, there's no connection.
Yeah.
That really bugged me. And it stood out even more so because of the title, but also because everything else was so good.
Yeah, I mean, that's a fair point, but I really think that it'll work better. I mean, one of the things that annoyed me about First Avenger, and it's still a fairly big complaint I have about the movie, not just because of the marketing, but originally the marketing advertised that First Avenger was going to be like this World War II epic in the Marvel universe. It was going to be a war movie in the Marvel universe with Cap and Red Skull. You know, basically playing a chess game for the fate of the world. And that got reduced to a montage. And
in 20 minutes, yeah.
Yeah, and that really annoyed me. It's a cool montage, but what I thought the movie was going to be about got reduced to a montage. And I think that is one of the biggest problems with the movie still.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a big problem, yeah.
Yeah, because you don't really get the development, and you don't get the heightened feeling of the crisis. So, honestly, Captain America the First Avenger probably should have been about an hour longer.
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah, totally.
And then, this should have been maybe, I don't know, half an hour longer, giving Bucky just a little more screen time.
I completely agree with you, and I think that's a testament to how good both of them are, that we want more of them, because what is done is so well done that you want to see more of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And that's something like... See, here's the thing. I want to know more about the Winter Soldier. I don't think the Winter Soldier was poorly done. He was done as best as you could. Like, I've only seen the Winter Soldier, aside from this, in Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes.
Yeah, and he was done really well on that, too.
He was done really well. It's almost the same fucking plot. In the same way that the finale of Season 1 is the same thing as the Avengers. Like, you've seen the movie before you fucking see the movie. But I sat, after Winter Soldier was over, I was like, no, don't end yet, because you're so fucking good, I don't want you to end. And there's so much interesting stuff going on, you want to see it keep going. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot, and based on what I've heard about tonight's episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., this is a lot of stuff that you could develop more in that show.
Well, here's the thing, is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was so good tonight, because I did watch it. They deal with the fucking Hydra turn and everything. I'm curious, honestly, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. tonight needed a damn timestamp, and so did Captain America, 1,800 hours, 1,600 hours, because we needed an idea of how long these events took place over.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But otherwise, because it feels a little disjointed, wait, but they defeated Hydra in this S.H.I.E.L.D. base before Cap took down the things? I'm confused.
Yeah, it's interesting because,
let me just say this real quick.
Go ahead, sorry.
That's the only problem I have with tonight's thing, but they deal with the Hydra reveal in a really, really interesting way, and they deal with the fallout of it, and basically it's like a whole movie. It's not a whole movie. It's a whole episode about everything that was going on, after Cap makes his little PA announcement.
Right.
So that's basically what happened in tonight's episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Do they play the PA announcement?
No, it's at a different facility.
Oh, okay. All right.
That would have really fucked Cap up if he saw Coulson now.
Yeah. Oh, God. Yeah, they don't know yet, do they?
Nope. There was a line in an episode a couple episodes back Lady Sif was in that episode, and she sees Coulson's like, "What dark sorcery is this?" And like, he's like, "The doctor saved my life, blah blah blah." And she goes, "Thor will be happy to hear." And he goes, "Yes, but I'd prefer if you let me be the one to tell him."
Right.
So there's been a couple moments where they talk about Avengers like that.
How well does Thor know Coulson, though?
Not great, which
yeah.
is really weird because Thor's one of the, like, not even around when Coulson dies and everything, but he gets...
No, he is. He's in the glass.
No, he's not. Oh, yeah, that's right. He sees him die.
He's right there, yeah.
Yeah, my bad. I forgot about that. No, but it's just funny. It's like, like, there's the whole, we're gonna unite around the death of Coulson. It's like, dude, you guys had, like, 2 scenes together, and in one of them, he was a total douche to you.
Well, I mean, I guess the idea is that Thor had a whole movie with Coulson, but Coulson was a dick to him in that, too.
Right? He had, like, 2 scenes in Thor, and then 1 scene with him in Avengers.
Right. Like, yeah, it's interesting. Like, to me, Tony is the one who had the biggest connection to him.
Oh, yeah.
Like, totally. Him and Black Widow and Hawkeye, obviously. Banner was like, I don't care, let's just save the world. I don't really give a fuck about that dude.
Right? It's like, Coulson? Who's that?
Is he the guy who got stabbed? Okay, alright, cool.
Anyway, back to Cap. You were about to say, I made my point about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but you had something else to say?
I don't remember now.
Okay, I was talking about timestamps, and that seemed where you were about to cut.
Oh, I wasn't going to say something about Winter Soldier. I was going to say something about First Avenger. I always wondered how long that the third act of that movie is supposed to take place over, because it's like, has he been Captain America for 2 months or 2 years?
Right.
You know what I mean? That's my question. It doesn't seem like it's been that long, but I also like the idea of Captain America being around for a long time. And based on how much of an impact he's had, and let's just, to get back into Winter Soldier, how they deal with the war hero aspect is awesome.
I love the idea of a Captain America museum.
Oh,
because
it's
for
fantastic.
the longest time, I've been saying that I wish someone would create like a history class in the Marvel Universe where you get to hear about how Cap stopped Hydra in World War II and stuff like that. And I'm really hoping that on the special features of the Blu-ray or DVD for Winter Soldier, we get like a tour of the Captain America Museum. That would be so cool.
What do you think the Marvel short's going to be on the Captain America movie?
I don't know. Something with Bucky, maybe?
No, because they keep doing it where it's not connected to the movie. Like, Hail to the King was on the Thor Blu-ray.
Yeah, but what... When they did Howard Stark...
So what are they going to do with Loki?
No, when they did one with Howard Stark and Peggy founding S.H.I.E.L.D., what one was that on?
Was that on... what was after Cap... I guess it was on... It was on Iron Man 3, probably.
Or Avengers, I guess.
It was one of those... No, Avengers had the one with the gun getting stolen, which I didn't like at all.
Oh, yeah, that was really stupid.
I didn't like that one. I did enjoy Hail to the King, though.
I thought it was all Hail to King.
Oh, whatever. It's the same thing.
Okay.
The one with the Mandarin. I really enjoyed that. But to get back to Winter Soldier, what I liked about that museum idea was that it was a really strong way to connect back to the tone of the first movie. Because the tone of the first movie is very nostalgic for the period in which it's set in. And it was nice to get a moment in this modern Captain America story where we kind of go back to that to kind of anchor it. That's where Cap's heart is. I thought that was really well done. And also that museum just looks really fucking cool. And I love that moment where the kid looks at him and goes, wait a minute, and then he just goes, shh.
Yeah, that was really sweet.
That was great.
I love superheroes and kids on screen like that.
You do.
I love
you
moments
really
like that. In Batman...
You also love the Doctor with children.
Even in Batman Begins, where it makes no sense, it's still awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, this is why you love Iron Man 3 so much.
I don't love it.
Is it your favorite Phase 2 movie?
No.
What's your favorite Phase 2 movie? Oh, this is, right, okay.
Yeah, obviously.
Right. No, I forgot because you said earlier that it wasn't, but you were making a broader point, and I forgot about the broader point. Never mind.
Okay.
Robert Redford's a badass.
Oh my God, he was fantastic in that.
He is fantastic.
And I wish he didn't spoil himself, but whatever.
Right? Well, I knew before he even said anything. I was fucking well aware that he was going to be the villain. But he brings so much gravitas and likability to somebody who, he's got so many things playing against him. He's the director of or he's one of the higher ups on a fucking shady ass spy organization, which are characters that are really hard to make likable. Like, I can think of only maybe one other example, and that being M from James Bond. That's only because they have those characters have like time to develop. Like this guy is likable in the first scene he's in, and it's because he's saying a big fuck you to people we don't like already with the fucking the High Council who go over S.H.I.E.L.D.
High Council.
You know, we don't like them because they were assholes in Avengers. They launched the nuke in New York, so we already don't like them, and we're seeing him be a wise ass to them. We immediately like that guy.
Yeah, have you seen any of the deleted scenes in Avengers?
Have I?
Because one of them
Which
of
one?
Maria Hill telling the High Council, which is, it feels like I'm talking about frickin' Star Wars or something.
Or Doctor Who.
Yeah, it's one of, there's one scene of Maria Hill telling the High Council that, oh, and when you guys ordered that nuke to be sent against New York, we recorded that because we're S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, I did see that, yeah.
So, like, it's interesting that got cut because they're in this, and they're like...
I was also happy that she came back.
And it's weird that frickin' Lal is in it.
Yeah, I noticed that. I was like, is that the fucker from The Dark Knight?
He's like, I'm very good with accounting.
Yeah, exactly. It was so weird to see him in a similar role to that, too. It was really weird. But yeah, he was great. Robert Redford was fantastic, whether being a villain or not. Like, I love one of my favorite scenes in the movie, just because of how creepy it is, but also how well acted it is when the Winter Soldier goes to his house, and he has that great line about, "You've shaped a century. Your country thanks you. I need you to do it one last time." I thought that was fantastic.
The line I liked in that is, "God, I wish you would have knocked."
Yeah, that's what I was getting to, because you know that that something's going to happen, and she walks back in, and you just go, oh, fuck. And he just fucking shoots her. And I love that that's the moment that we realize he's a villain. Like, that's where the twist comes in. And I think it's done really well. You get a great transition from this likable, charismatic guy mourning the death of Nick Fury to fucking dastardly Hydra agent.
And, I mean, you're a little unsure about him when he's all like, oh, we want to know what... Captain Rogers has information about the death of Nick Fury, and he's not sharing it with us. That makes him our enemy, kind of thing. That makes him, like, iffy, but you don't want to immediately think that the guy that's basically running S.H.I.E.L.D. is suddenly evil.
Yeah, I mean, we knew already because we knew about the fucking plot twist, but thinking about it from the perspective of not knowing, it still works for sure. And you've still got to wonder, like, Nick Fury is on shakier ground than he is, so, like, that's the really well done thing about this movie and why it works as both a spy thriller and as a superhero movie is because like Captain America, you don't know who to trust. And you go through the same struggles as he does trying to figure it out. I also loved the whole theme of this honest-to-end super soldier being a spy. That was really interesting. You know what I mean? Because it really... And I love that was addressed. Like, what else... Like, you think about it, what else is Captain America going to do with himself when he gets frozen... Like, when he gets thawed out of the ice? He's going to work for S.H.I.E.L.D. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, and S.H.I.E.L.D. is a really shadowy organization. I like that scene early on he has with Nick Fury where he's like, I don't want to be... There were innocent hostages on that boat. I'm not your gun. I'm not, like, your spy or whatever. And Nick Fury goes... There were innocent hostages, and I sent the greatest soldier ever to go save them. I was like, oh, that's such a good scene between those two. There's some great exchanges between Fury and...
that scene in the elevator is... Oh, it's such a good scene.
It was very Tarantino, wasn't it?
Oh, you thought that? I thought the exact same thing. Was like, did Tarantino write this scene? It's such a and I think part of it is because Sam Jackson's the one delivering it, but it's definitely very Tarantino-esque. Because he tells the story about his fucking grandfather coming home, like, with the bag full of money, and he trusts the neighborhood and everything, and everybody's like, what's in the bag, old man? What's in the bag, old man? And he's like, oh, it's my money. You want to see it? Sure. And then he pulled out a .22 Magnum. It's such a great, great scene. Very poignant, but also very powerful.
It's just a really good scene. It's just so weird. That's exactly how Tarantino would have written the scene, which is funny. I mean, there might have been a pop culture reference thrown in, but it's very Tarantino.
Also, there would have been a lot more N-words.
Yeah, pretty much.
And Captain America, and
I would
Nick
love
Fury
to see Nick Fury drop the N-bomb.
It's gonna happen, I think. Like, before Sam Jackson gives up the role and David Hasselhoff retakes it. No, I'm kidding.
That'd be so amazing.
I tweeted about that where I was like, I thought it was fucked up how the Winter Soldier turned out to be David Hasselhoff, because now how's he going to come back as Nick Fury now? This makes no sense.
One of my favorite lines in it, though, was when they find out that Redford's character, or when they reveal to Fury that Redford's character is a double agent or whatever.
Yeah, he was not happy.
Yeah, he's like, this is why I have problems trusting people.
Yeah, he gets so... I love it when... I mean, this goes without saying, but I love it when Sam Jackson gets mad. He's one of the best actors in Hollywood for that. How'd you feel about the death of Nick Fury, quote unquote, and then its eventual him being alive? I knew it was gonna be. That's what they were doing.
Well, the trailers kind of spoiled that, because there's a scene in the trailers where it shows Nick Fury all beat up and shit, and he's saying, "Looks like you're the director of S.H.I.E.L.D. now." And so there's the scene very early in the movie with Nick Fury dead. I'm like, welp.
No, I disagree. Or I didn't have that same thing. Here's the thing. I thought that was a ploy to get him injured, so that way Sam Jackson didn't have to be in the rest of the movie.
Okay.
That's what I thought it was. I didn't think he was going to die. So when they did kill him, I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, how are they going to fucking reverse this? There's no way. He must be dead. I mean, I kind of was battling with myself, because, like, they'll find a way to reverse it, but as of right now, he's dead. And I don't see a way to reverse it. So I'm going through the whole movie thinking it's over. And then they reverse it, and the explanation is genius. Because, again, they're using the fact that they're in a comic book universe to their advantage. Oh, I got this serum from Banner. It slows down your heart rate to a level that's undetectable and makes you appear dead. He tried to use it for stress release. It didn't work. It's an amazing scene. And then as a Hulk fan, I was like, fuck yes! Bruce Banner gets name dropped a couple times, and I was like, yes!
Alright, so there's that one. I know that Redford, I think, has the line about 8 people that Hydra wants to kill, and Bruce Banner's on it. Was there another one?
No, it wasn't Robert Redford's character. It was, what's that guy's name? The one with the glasses?
Sitwell?
Yeah, him.
Okay,
When Cap had him on the roof.
Yeah.
And he said, he also name-dropped Stephen Strange.
Oh, yeah, I thought so.
And I was like, oh, they're building it up, man. I have no interest in it, but they're building it up. I don't give a fuck about Doctor Strange.
Now, I remember the night after I saw it, the night I saw it, you said that there were 3. When was the other one?
He's also, the other one I was thinking of was, there's a picture of him in the kill list with Tony Stark.
Oh,
because you know Tony Stark's on there, but he's on there too.
Yeah, it's interesting that, like, it's so weird because
I think all the Avengers are on there except for Thor.
Yeah. Well, like, what's so weird about it, and, like, here's I guess a problem I foresee with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So, you got the helicarriers going up, and they're powered by Stark Tech, and it really seems like it's pretty obvious to Cap and his allies, like Black Widow, that, Hydra's corrupted S.H.I.E.L.D. And we know Tony Stark's planted bugs in S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, why isn't Iron Man dealing with this problem?
Yeah, it really, like, especially when the helicarriers start rising, I'm expecting, like, they can't, Falcon ends up bringing Cap to the 3rd helicarrier, but I was really shocked, because I'm like, well, no, wait, they can't get to the 3rd helicarrier. Iron Man's going to show up and help. Like, I expected something like that, and you almost kind of need that, and the reason why is because it's an extended universe. Why aren't these people helping each other?
That's the problem, though, because it's a movie version of the Marvel universe, and you can't have a Marvel ongoing without it crossing over with another character every single issue.
Right?
That's just the inherent problem with doing a Marvel doing the entire Marvel universe in one cinematic universe just because of actor issues.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm sure I'm sure that they have enough B-roll of fucking Robert Downey Jr. in front of the green screen to do something where you just see his face with the, like, CG elements, and then you could CG in the Iron Man costume.
Yeah, I'm also sure, based on interviews I've heard with Robert Downey Jr., he adores playing Iron Man.
Yeah, I'm sure he would have done it anyway, just like, especially if he doesn't have to do any stunts, if he just has to stand in front of a green screen to do it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he wouldn't have to get out of the armor.
Like, he wouldn't have to get in the armor, is the other thing.
Yeah, no, totally. Well, I agree with you completely from a plot standpoint.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like,
I think that the filmmakers would be scared, though, because when the minute Iron Man shows up in another Marvel movie, he steals the spotlight.
Yeah.
Because Robert Downey Jr. and Tony Stark are enormous personalities. Like, when he's in Avengers, he's the focal point. He is the center of attention. And I feel like the minute you bring in Iron Man, you're going to want him there forever. And it's going to get really distracting for the audience.
You know what could have been awesome, though? And, like, I hate to rewrite movies like this, but you know what could have been awesome? All right, so we take Falcon out on, like, he loses his wings on the once he's finished destroying the second helicarrier, right? Or implanting the chip, rather. Okay, all right. So Iron Man shows up to help Cap get to the third one, and instead of Winter Soldier taking out Falcon, Winter Soldier takes out Iron Man.
Yeah,
that would be pretty fucking badass.
I would say that this might almost be cooler. Falcon's wings get taken out. We know that Tony Stark is Bug Shield. What if instead Tony Stark had sent like one of his armor to Falcon? Like, so here's what you do. You fucking have him fall. He's all depressed and shit because he just lost. And then, like, I don't know, his cell phone rings or something, or one of the SHIELD communicators goes off. And you look on the screen, there's Tony Stark. And he's like balls deep in hookers or whatever he's doing. Maybe he's on, like...
to be happy about that.
Maybe Pepper's there. You don't know, Ian. You don't know about their sex life. Well, except for 12%. But maybe he's on the 18th. Maybe he could be jerking off in the bathroom. Who knows? But it doesn't matter. He's Tony Stark. So Tony Stark pops up and just goes, "Hey man, now you've been helping out the old man. Here's a gift." And you just fucking have like maybe new Falcon armor that looks more like the comics, or a whole Iron Man. Who knows? Something just slams down, and that's his armor from now on. Like, the only reason that it would be weird is because, like, how the fuck would Tony Stark know that, like, and design armor for this guy?
Yeah, I get, like, that part's problematic to me. I'm just saying, like, it's a good way to have, you know, to get this feel of this bigger universe still, to keep that
Aside
feel.
from just name drops, yeah, you're right, yeah.
Aside from just name drops and really pointless cameos, you could get a really good plot point cameo that gets Cap to the thing, and you could show just how dangerous the Winter Soldier is if he can manage to take out Iron Man, albeit in a sneak attack, but still. And that would actually elevate Cap as the guy that's able to take down the Winter Soldier, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah, totally. Again, my problem with that version of it is just that once you introduce Iron Man, people are going to be like, "Fucking Iron Man! This is Iron Man 4, motherfuckers!"
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like Iron Man shows up, he helps out the way that he can quickly, and then he's immediately taken out even though he wanted to help more.
Yeah, totally.
Like, I think that's something you need because we haven't seen Iron Man really get, like, his ass handed to him in a big way, like, when it's a fair fight, you know? Like, not a fair fight. We haven't seen Iron Man really get beaten in a fight, you know?
Well, I mean, he got his ass kicked at the end of the first movie.
Yeah, but he ended up winning by the end.
Oh, yeah, I mean, they're always going to win, Ian. They're superheroes.
No, but I mean, he ended up winning the fight. I mean, we haven't seen Iron Man just lose a fight and need a team member to help him out.
Yeah, totally.
Aside from giving out his address to a terrorist and then not putting up any defenses.
Yeah, he really fucking fucked that up. It's a great idea, really badass, and then he fucks it up. He's got a whole room of armor, just ready, just fucking ready. and then they're all gone. And then he blows them up at the end. For no reason. It's like billions of dollars. Just boosh. Boom.
It's the most expensive fireworks show ever.
Yeah, he just does it to be like, oh, we're gonna fuck with this background now, Pepper, right? And like, it's billions of dollars. I know he's Tony Stark, but he's got to have some kind of like limit. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like even Bruce Wayne has a budget. You know what I mean?
Yes, I know exactly what you mean. No,
All
like,
right.
That's just something that entered my head because I'm like, really, you need Iron Man or some... Like, Iron Man just makes the most sense because he could be there
Hulk.
the quickest.
Hulk just catches Captain America in midair, just like the end of the Avengers, just like, boom, catches him, and then he just runs.
Yeah, just something...
No reason.
I guess. Not just something like that. It would just make sense to have him there or show up or something. Because it's weird, when you think about it, this is the first Phase 2 movie that hasn't had the other Avengers, not counting Black Widow because she's the main character, that hasn't had one of the other Avengers pop up in it. Thor kinda did, but still.
Captain America pops up briefly. Yeah.
Yeah, like Thor had Cap in it. Iron Man 3 had Bruce Banner at the very end.
For like a second, yeah.
Yeah, so like it's weird because those few things really did make it feel like these characters are still a big presence in each other's movies.
Right, in each other's lives. I mean, after what happened in Avengers, they're not going to be like I imagine that Captain America would hang out with those are his pals now, man.
Yeah, it's like
he doesn't have friends in this new scary time, so he hangs out with fucking Bruce Banner. They go have a drink.
Bruce Banner, I have no idea. Like, is Bruce Banner working with Tony Stark now? Oh,
I don't know, dude.
That makes me have one question that I'm sure you won't have the answer for. What is Maria Hill doing at Stark Industries at the very end?
What?
You don't remember that? It's really short. It's like in the last little montage epilogue thingy, before Nick Fury burns his eye patch. You see Maria Hill in Stark Industries' Human Resources office, like...
Oh, right! What was the deal with that?
Wait, what? I'm so confused.
Yeah, what did that have to do with anything?
I don't know! Like, the idea is, S.H.I.E.L.D. is dead now, unless you're in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., in which case, apparently, only level 8 agents are going to try to rebuild. But not...
I guess Coulson could be the director of S.H.I.E.L.D. now, right? That would make sense. Coulson should be the new director of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I guess. That'd be fine. I could be...
Because God knows what Nick Fury's doing now.
Nick Fury's just, walking down the street being like, give to Oedipus.
Nick Fury is now just doing what David Banner did in the Hulk show. Like, I was so reminded of that fucking shot at the end of the intro of The Incredible Hulk at the end of Captain America. Where they're standing in front of the grave, and you just have that shot of Nick Fury holding the backpack.
Right.
Now Nick Fury, the world must think he is dead, so he can find a way to control the inner racist that dwells within him.
Right? No, dude,
Motherfuckers!
One of my favorite scenes, though, had to be, this is the first time Sam Jackson's really gotten to play Nick Fury. Like, he was Nick Fury in Avengers, but, there was so much going on in that. He got really a good chance to show just how badass he could be as a super spy, and I love that scene where he goes, you gotta, if you're trying to kill me, I don't even remember the fucking line, but, you gotta keep both eyes open. And then he puts up the eye patch, you see he's got, that fucked up eye, and he uses it to, override the system and shit. That was so badass.
Right, totally. Also, I saw it coming because of the trailer, but that scene with Cap in the elevator was awesome.
Yeah? Yeah.
I have one major action problem with this movie. Two. One, some parts of the opening action scene are unwatchable because it's so dark.
I didn't have that problem, but okay.
And there's a lot of CG with Cap flying around.
Okay.
And the shield bouncing around.
Okay.
It hurt my eyes. That was a problem. I don't know, maybe it was my screen, but it bugged me, and it was like, I like this, but I have to look away.
Okay.
It was just a mixture of the darkness and the CG. And the other one is I thought that the scene where Nick Fury is being chased goes on way too long.
I disagree with both of those points.
What? You're out of your mind.
I really thought the opening action scene looked fantastic.
It did for the most part, but I was like, it's too dark. I can't see shit.
I could see it all just fine. So that wasn't a problem for me, and I didn't think the CG looked spotty or anything like that.
It didn't look spotty. It was the mixture of that and the darkness that it almost hurt my eyes.
No, it didn't bother me, and I really liked the Nick Fury action scene. I guess it's great. A little bit that I saw part of it last week on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
What?
Yeah. They like, all right, so every week on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., they'll have, like, their super big, cliffhanger right at the, last 5 minutes. Then they'll go to, a 2-minute commercial break, and then they'll come back one more time before credits and, next week on and do a really short scene, right? And this week, instead of doing, their own short scene, they just used that, a clip of the chase scene with from Cap 2 with Nick Fury, and it ends right after the Winter Soldier blows up the SUV.
I just thought it was way too long, especially since that's not how he died, or supposedly died. If that would have been his death scene, that would be different, but it went on for way too long. It's not that really gripping. It looks cool, but it's just a car chase. You know what I mean? I've seen it in a million other movies. Maybe there are little special effects, the guns and the
it's got
talking
a super
voice.
spy car with a gun that comes up out of the fucking glove box.
Yeah, that's great, but I've seen car chases before. I've seen cars get blown up.
I went more of a Motorhead fan phase than you did, so I guess I appreciated it more.
What do you mean? It's a car chase.
Yeah, but I like car chases.
I do too, but I've seen a million of them, and more than that, it's in a superhero movie. I never like car chases in superhero movies.
Well, in this movie you got two.
Cap riding around in his motorcycle, that's different. If he's blowing fuckers up with that thing, that's awesome.
No, not the motorcycle. I'm talking about the scene with Falcon and Black Widow in it.
That wasn't great either.
But dude, Winter Soldier was like, I'll drive.
No.
Give me the wheel. I'll drive.
No, but the fucking opening scene,
cool as shit.
The opening action scene in Avengers sucks ass. With the car chase, but it's a problem thinking of what's coming up and what's in this universe. I don't want to see a car chase when there's a lightning god running around or a guy in metal armor. What the fuck?
Car chases are cool, Bill.
They are cool, but they're not cool. Like a James Bond car, I'm there. James Bond in a car chase, I'm totally there. The Aston Martin driving around, I'm there. Fucking Nick Fury driving around in a fucking Escalade, I'm not there.
I don't care what you say.
It was enjoyable for 2 minutes, and then it went on for 10.
It did not go on for 10 minutes.
It felt like 10 minutes. It felt longer than 10 minutes.
No, it was badass. Nick Fury was awesome. He kicked ass and took names. It helped that he didn't have to jump out of a helicopter this time. I enjoyed it.
But I also thought that it was a problem because that's not his death. So it's a really long and dramatic scene, and then he's stuck in an apartment with Captain America. And I was like, what was the point of that 10-minute car chase?
To show that he was being chased?
Yeah, but you could do that in such a short... I think that scene had to be edited big time. Cut it down.
I completely disagree.
Give that screen time to the Winter Soldier.
I enjoyed it.
The car chase.
I enjoyed it too much to say that. No, I liked the car chase. I thought it was really good.
Though that grenade that Winter Soldier shoots at that car was pretty awesome.
Yeah. Alright, so what you didn't like the other car chase that went on with,
No, that one was better because there were actually superheroes in that scene. And I was like, alright, well, I'm there now. Captain America's flying around, Falcon's fucking shit up, this is cool, this is alright.
I don't know, I just loved Winter Soldier taking the wheel. I thought that was so badass. I've never seen that done in a car chase before. Someone just grabbing the steering wheel.
Yeah, that was awesome. But more than that, what I liked about that scene was that I agree with you. They were doing things in that scene that I'd never seen in the car chase, of just getting the car blown up and, like, fucking, like, characters who aren't immortal just, like, flying through the air, bouncing off of other cars, and they show them getting hurt, and that it really hurts for that to happen, regardless of being super soldier or otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
So that part was like, and it was shot really well. The action was shot really well for the most part, aside from that opening dark scene. I really like that. I did like that scene. I thought it was like, I've seen this before, in the other parts.
One thing I did like about the opening action scene is honestly can't tell you how much of my favorite shot was done practically. I like when they go to the really distant shot, where you see Cap running around the boat, taking out all the guards silently. And,
God, that was fantastic, yeah.
Yeah, just the way they did it, by breaking up the, I almost think it was done practically, because he goes, like, behind something, and then he comes out and gets the next guy. So it really, like, what I think they might have done is get Chris Evans to do the first shot where the camera's really close, then it starts to pan outward. I think they got him to do that first run, and then they started using stunt doubles in the costume, and had him basically, I don't know what you call it, baton trading, basically. Just running out of the thing and getting the next guy and stuff. I thought that looked really good.
Sure. I could see that part, so I like that.
Maybe you were just going blind, Bill.
No, I'm not going blind, because I drove home afterwards and it was fine. The fucking fight scene with Batroc the Leaper was awesome.
Oh, I like that.
It was and also, I also like the idea of Captain America being like a famous legend almost.
Yeah.
Like, where he's like, I always thought you were more than just a shield. And he fucking drops the shield, pulls off the helmet, and he's like, it's fucking on, asshole. You want to fight Captain America? You're going to fight Captain America.
I like Chris Evans without the helmet on so much more in this.
Yeah?
It just looks better without the helmet on. One of my favorite, representations of how damn badass Captain America is in that universe is from, oddly enough, the BET Black Panther show.
That was a thing?
It was an animated series. It only got, one 13-episode season, and it was done...
Why haven't I seen this?
I think it might still be on Netflix. It's more like motion comic, and it's not great, but there's enough good in it that it's worth watching.
Oh, I have seen this. Never mind.
Okay, it's really...
I thought it was a motion comic.
It is, but they called it the animated series. Anyway.
This is bullshit.
Anyway, there's this really great scene where, all these, Washington military leaders are sitting around talking about Wakanda and the Black Panther, and one of the people goes, "You don't understand how dangerous the Black Panther is. Well, our best man can easily take him out. Our best man couldn't take him out. What are you saying? Captain America failed." And this, 5-star general goes, "Bullshit!" And he was, livid that, idea that Captain America was beaten in hand-to-hand combat by someone else. And then you see that mission, and it's really cool because it's Cap with the old, the proto-shield, with the pre-circle shield, basically. And,
right, yeah.
And he's going into Wakanda to ask for help in taking down the Axis powers.
Oh, this is back in World War II.
Yeah, it's the original. It's old World War II mission. He's going into Wakanda to ask for help, and they refuse to give the Allies' powers any help, but they give Cap the vibranium to make the shield.
Right. Okay.
It's a really cool scene. Yeah. But yeah, Cap gets his ass handed to him by the Black Panther that is T'Challa.
T'Challa.
Yeah. That is his father. So.
Right.
That's pretty cool.
What's the story with the Black Panther movie? It's happening, right? I heard. So I keep hearing different things.
Oddly enough, there was just a reference to South Africa in this night's episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., so
it's gotta be happening.
It'd be awesome.
I love Black Panther.
Yeah.
I love I don't know. If they don't give him a movie, which I kind of understand, he's not a really popular character. I'm not sure what your story would be, but I think that's more of me being unfamiliar with the source material rather than like there isn't a good Black Panther story.
Well, like, let me just say this. So, basically, S.H.I.E.L.D. isn't an American organization. It's United Nations military organization, right?
Right.
So in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. tonight, they say, we've taken back all of our major bases except in one location, and then they say, and in South Africa. So maybe your premise for a Black Panther movie, or stretching here, but Black Panther appearance on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., or even television show, or Netflix show.
That's what I was thinking.
Or Netflix show. Netflix could
do
look
them on
too.
Netflix. That's what they're doing with those other characters. Like, I'd rather see fucking Black Panther than fucking Luke Cage.
Yeah. But anyway, maybe do a Black Panther Netflix show and have it, like, the pilot be feature-length, and have it deal with Black Panther dealing with Hydra. That'd be really cool.
Yeah, or do a backdoor pilot and do it in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and have that be the introduction to Black Panther for his own show.
It'd probably be better than Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, I would so much rather see, like, a new Hulk show, or Black Panther, or Daredevil than Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Well, we're getting Daredevil on Netflix, so.
I can't wait for that. I'm so excited, especially with the rumor that Michael C. Hall is going to play Matt Murdock. That's
awesome. My God, yes!
Right? That was my thought. He is perfect.
Perfect.
Yeah. I'm also really excited to see what they do with the costume. I'm assuming they're going to go...
I'm a fan of the Ben Affleck costume, to be honest with you.
I am too, but that's, like, where do you go from that? Like, I don't think they're going to do leather.
I wouldn't... What I think you do is just kind of like... The only problem with the Ben Affleck costume, in my mind, is that it looks too clean. One of the things that I do really like about the 89 Batman costume, one of the few things I like about the 89 Batman costume, is it looks dirty, like he's been using it for a while. So
yeah,
maybe just do, like, aged leather with Daredevil.
Or do it... You could also do a mix of, like, the Man of Steel and Amazing Spider-Man costume. Because Daredevil isn't really a character where it would make sense for him to have armor, because he's doing a lot of acrobatics.
Yeah.
So it would make more sense if he was more... And that's why him and Spider-Man get along so well, is because they're both these acrobats, so...
That's the reason.
No, that's part... Well, what else is there? Like, their age difference, and, you know, Matt Murdock is blind.
Well, maybe because Matt Murdock helped keep Peter Parker out of prison. Maybe they get along because of that.
No, that's circumstantial. I'm talking, like, real deep shit.
Like,
I don't know, Ian, I'm kind of...
everything fat, right?
Yeah, what? Wait, what?
Your bond with other fat people, right?
I'm not that fat. Well, I see more of... Like, I would say I'm chubby more than I am fat.
You're not fat, so you need a bra.
No. My man tits are not that big. I've got if my man tits were to be rated on the same scale as feminine tits with other man tits, I wouldn't even be an A. I don't even have, like, I can't even call them moobs. They're like their mitts. Anyway, I only want to say one last thing. I love all of the Captain America costumes that they show in this movie.
Uh-huh.
I love the first one. It's such a good, like, stealth Captain America costume. I love the Black Shield.
The Black Shield?
Wasn't it black and not? They didn't have or it was like a dull red, white, and blue. It wasn't as bright as the other one.
It's the same shield.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I guess it wouldn't make any sense to have more than one because it's vibranium.
It's the same shield the entire movie. I think it just gets painted over and over again because the paint comes off.
Right. Sure, that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I like the costumes, but dude, we haven't even talked about fucking Zola.
Oh, we got a couple other things. More than that, it's like we barely talked about the Winter Soldier in a movie called The Winter Soldier.
No, we talked plenty about Bucky. That's what got us.
Let's cover.
But we got to talk about Zola.
Let's cover Zola, the Hydra plot twist in general, and whether or not Zola is going to turn out to be MODOK, because that's what I'm thinking. A friend of mine were talking the other day, and what I thought was like. I was on Baron Zemo watch this whole movie. I was like, where's Baron Zemo? Where's Baron Zemo? And, like, I was like, oh, Robert Redford's going to turn out to be Baron Zemo. It's like, all right, he's not. He's some other guy. All right, what about Zola? Is he going to be like, my name is now Baron Zemo? No, that didn't happen. Didn't happen. I don't know why I made him sound like Spanish, but you never know. Red Skull was Italian in the 1990 movie, so why not Spanish Zola?
It made no sense. Why couldn't Red Skull just be German?
I don't know.
Was the 90s just concerned they had too many German villains?
it makes... Wouldn't fucking Red Skull be working for Mussolini before Hitler?
Well, no, like here's the thing. He's clearly kidnapped and doesn't want to be a super soldier. Why would he be so, like, committed to the Nazis after that point?
It literally makes absolutely no sense.
Anyway, no, but, like, I love...
but back to that scene is basically one giant plot twist, and all of it was amazing.
I love what they did with Zola. It was so brilliant. Just finding him was so amazing. And then, like, he turns on and he says Romanov, and I'm like, whoa, what? And it's just such a brilliant idea to have him just be this, like,
I am not a recording captain. Fuck off!
That was so good. Like, what I really liked about it is it built on, we've been saying, or not necessarily we, but it's been said a lot that this is really very similar to the Cold War spy thrillers.
Oh, totally.
And here's the thing about the actual history. All right, so World War II ends in the Western Theater, right? It ends in the Western Theater. Hitler's defeated, and along the way, the Americans or the Allies have captured a lot of Nazi rocket scientists that have been working on an atomic bomb for Hitler.
Right.
Well, those scientists are brought over to America so that the Nazis have no chance of getting them back, basically. Mm-hmm. Those scientists are brought over to America and are put to work on the atomic bomb here, which is what eventually leads to the first 3 bombs, one dropped in New Mexico, one dropped on Hiroshima, and one on Nagasaki. Which... Side note, they were basically duds, so let that horrify you. Anyway, so the actual history is, a lot of those German scientists, after World War II was over, sold all of the information that they had on how to make an atomic bomb to the Soviet Union. So, like, that's just, the people the super scientists from Germany that America, like, turned, as we thought, ended up stabbing us in the back and giving what was, at that point, going to be our greatest enemy for the next 40 years, the secrets to the most deadly weapon ever. So that's what I liked so much about Zola being there. This is one of the things that, the Hydra plot twist is what makes this movie for me. The Zola being there is such a great turn on actual history.
He was really lucky to not have to die of dysentery in Argentina like his Nazi compatriots.
Right.
He really lucked out in that way. But yeah, he was awesome. I hope he comes back, whether he's MODOK or not. But
well, it made perfect sense because I mean, if he's able to get a wireless connection to send a bomb after them, he should have been able to implant himself. Dude.
Yeah.
Ultron.
Got to be in there, right?
Like, if he's just this living machine, if he's this thinking machine, and he has the ability to transmit himself wherever he wants...
Think he'll be Ultron?
Yeah, why, like, if... Alright, the idea is maybe Tony Stark's creating Ultron?
No, definitely. Yeah, he's the one who creates Ultron.
Yeah, and then, like, Ultron's obviously got to turn. What better way to make Ultron turn than bring back Zola again?
The only problem with that is that James Spader is playing Ultron.
That doesn't matter.
Well, I mean, I guess the idea is then that he's basically playing Zola with a different voice.
Well, like, one of the things is, they say James Spader is not going to be doing just a voice portrayal.
Oh.
Like, Ultron might look more humanistic or something, I don't know.
Yeah.
Or at least one version of Ultron might look more humanistic, or... I'm not sure how well you could pull this off, but I think James Spader and the guy that plays Zola kind of look similar. Maybe that's just in my head.
Not really at all.
Okay, then that's just in my head.
You've got one who's the fucking the James Spader movie. I don't know. I can't think of a specific. Like, he's in so much stuff. I can't, like Wolf. And then you think of like NCIS with the Zola guy.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, that makes so much sense. That just hit me now. That makes so much sense. If Zola's this, like, computer intelligence, there's no way that he's just gonna leave himself to, be blown up. Like, no, I mean, obviously this is a guy that's obsessed with survival. He's going to have found a way to transmit himself.
I think it makes more sense for him to be MODOK just because, A, MODOK is German in the comics.
I still don't understand MODOK. I have no idea what the fuck MODOK is.
He was this scientist, and I only know this based on the Iron Man animated series. I don't know how it was done in the comics, but I know that he's supposed to be German. Well, I do kind of know. All right, in most versions of MODOK is a he's the head of AIM.
Okay.
And he runs AIM.
So Killian just fucked off somewhere.
No, there is no Killian. Aldrich Killian in the comics serves MODOK.
I'm kidding, but anyway, go on.
Because in the comics, I think MODOK is like. It depends on your version. Sometimes MODOK doesn't have a personality, and he's just kind of like this thinking machine. It depends on your universe.
No, I'm just. What the fuck is MODOK? I always thought he was an alien.
He was a scientist. No, not at all. He was a scientist. He got killed, and then he was genetically modified into this thing, so he could survive and be a genius and be connected to like all these different wireless connections and basically be a living genius database. He's kind of like a Wi-Fi version of the leader. It's weird.
How does MODOK shit and or eat?
Ian, I wish I had an answer for you because that's the fucking Avengers sequel I want. It's fucking how does he work? How does MODOK take a shit? Does Thor poop? That's my question. I don't know. Maybe he's like RoboCop. Maybe he eats baby food.
No, just one of those things. Like, it's just a giant head. It makes no sense.
No, he's got a little body. He's got a tiny body.
It's a giant head with these arms coming out of his ears. It doesn't.
No. MODOK has a little body.
Yeah, but like, oh, does he? Okay.
Yeah, he does. He's not. He's not like the face of Bo. But anyway, the Hydra twist was awesome. It definitely made sense with the alternate history. The use of the alternate history and real-life history was really effective, and I like the idea of, instead of just Nazi scientists, you also had Hydra scientists, and Hydra specifically being used.
Well, I like the idea that Hydra took over the, the government organizations and created the problems, because that's one of the things that's really fascinating is, ever since World War II, all of, the greatest enemies of democracy, or however you want to fucking phrase that, have been created by us, fucking up our own shit, and then we gotta go in and try to solve the problem, but then it just gets really fucking complicated, and...
How many times in fiction does Kennedy have to be killed by somebody who isn't Lee Harvey Oswald?
Right? No, it's just like, I thought it was so brilliant. Like, Hydra says, we created our own problems to create this world of fear where people would give up their freedom. I was like, that's so brilliant. And then it's surprising how, damn apt the social criticism is, because I'm like, how long...
It also makes a lot of sense doing it with Captain America.
Yeah, how long have they been working on this script? Because, the Snowden stuff, it's getting old now, but,
Yeah.
They were filming this movie when that happened. It's just so well done.
Yeah, but the Snowden thing is also something that was inevitable.
Yeah.
Like, that was gonna happen. And movies before the Snowden incident had done it, so... it's not surprising that it kind of was predicted. You know what I mean? Like, that was gonna happen.
Oddly enough, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. in an episode early in the season name dropped Snowden and, what's his name? What's the WikiLeaks guy's name?
The what?
WikiLeaks. What's his name?
I'm not sure.
Shit.
I haven't heard of this. I know Edward Snowden. I haven't heard of the other guy.
You haven't heard of the guy that founded WikiLeaks?
No.
Son of a bitch, what's his name? It's something with an A, I want to say. It's just escaping me for the moment. No, but in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., they name drop Snowden and that guy. And the other guy it's a couple years ago now, but still. And then Snowden had just happened, maybe a couple months before that, if I remember correctly. No, it was really cool.
Yeah, Snowden was end of last year, right?
Yeah, pretty much. No, so like, I was really impressed with the ties to this idea of spying, the prison program, and you know, creating this world of fear, and you know, the idea that you can neutralize a threat before it happens is just, it's so. When you really think about it, we're going to stop something before it happens, and Cap's line is so perfect. I thought the punishment usually came after the crime. And, you know, yes, it should. But, like, living in a post-9/11 world, that's a really interesting debate. Like,
it's a problem when you can't punish the criminal.
Well, not just that, but, like, in a post-9/11 world, I mean, if we knew that they were going to do it, of course we'd want to stop them by any means necessary.
Right, but you
they
can't,
haven't done it. You can't kill someone for to stop them from doing something. You know, like, it's different when, you know, someone's holding a knife and coming towards you, but if they're planning to do something, you probably shouldn't kill them. You should arrest them. Conspiracy to. So, no, it's just a really fascinating idea.
Yeah, I mean, it's been covered in stuff like Minority Report, but doing it with a superhero and doing it in this universe and with Captain
America.
Yeah, it's so poignant and such a good sequel to the first movie. Because the whole concept of Captain America is this really wholesome, honest man in a really unhonest world. Dishonest. That's not a word. Dishonest world. I fucking adore this movie. Hands down, favorite of Phase 2. Probably in my top 5 for all Marvel movies in general. I just thought it was fantastic. Is there anything else we haven't brought up you wanted to bring up? Because I'm kind of spent.
No, I love the Hydra twist. It's what made this movie for me. I didn't see it coming at all. I thought it was perfect. This is hands down the best Marvel movie I've ever seen.
Yeah, and it was well timed. It was well placed because in a movie where 2 of the biggest plot twists were already spoiled before the movie came out.
Yep.
So it was really cool that they had that to fall back on. When you had, you know who the Winter Soldier is and you know who the main villain is. So I thought that was really effective. Ian, what would you give this out of 5?
5.
I would probably give it a 5. Yeah, I'm going to give it a 5 as well. Fuck it. I love this movie.
Even with your problems with the intro and Sam Jackson and the Winter Soldier, you're going to get...
Yeah, well, as I said earlier, because everything is so good, those things stand out more. So I'm gonna say 5 because all those things didn't ruin the movie. They were just things that I thought of after. Well, the chase scene to me, I would take off points, but it's such a nitpick that's like, all right. It's not a big enough problem to ruin the rest of the movie, but it really bothered me when I was in the theater.
Yeah, I'll give this 5 heads of Hydra out of 5.
Oh, we're doing that? All right. I'll give it.
Just put on your channel.
For those of you who don't know, this is what we do on Geeky Gentlemen. We give our ratings nouns. I am going to give Captain America: The Winter Soldier 5 Marvin Gaye albums out of 5.
Oh, okay. I was like, oh, come on, don't go for the Shield. Don't do
Marvin.
The Shield.
Oh, and by the way, let me just say this quick: the fucking opening scene with Falcon is fantastic.
Okay, go ahead and finish your thought, then I'll throw in with mine then.
I just want to say I love the opening scene with Falcon. I thought that was fantastic as well with the little hint of the Captain America theme.
Yeah, that was really...
and on your left, and in the ensuing scene, I thought that was great.
Yeah, that was really good. I like that Falcon was like this PTSD counselor and stuff. That was really cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
Okay. Then I had 2 things that I just forgot to mention during the review here. One, and they're actually both kind of from the same scene. I love what we get with Peggy. I thought it was so sad that she had Alzheimer's.
Oh yeah.
That scene was so heartbreaking because it leaves Steve with no one. Usually, everything I've seen with Captain America, she's usually still the girl that he loved before he got frozen is usually still alive, but she's really old or she married someone else. But he could still talk to her. This one, he can talk to her whenever he wants, for a short time at least, but every time he talks to her, it's going to be the first time she's seen him. And that was amazingly tragic. And I thought it was just a really good way to show just how isolated Cap is.
Absolutely. And it's interesting because the scene worked on the same level for me, but I didn't know she had Alzheimer's in the theater.
Like, how would you not notice that?
I don't know, dude. Nobody I've talked to noticed it either except you.
Well,
I mean, I agree with you.
It's really obvious because, like, there's this whole thing of, like, they're having this conversation, and he turns around to get her a glass of water, and when he turns back around, she goes, Steve, you're back! And it's just really obvious that she thinks she's seeing him for the first time.
No, you're absolutely right. I didn't notice that in the theater because my thoughts were elsewhere. But yeah, it's a great scene. That scene almost had me crying. Mm-hmm. It's a really powerful scene. That whole first half hour is excellent in terms of dealing with the aftermath of Avengers and First Avenger.
Yeah. And then the other thing from that scene that, like, I really liked, it's just a small little touch, but I thought it was really clever, is it's been a joke in the Marvel Cinematic Universe for a while now, about what the hell S.H.I.E.L.D. is, like, why it's named S.H.I.E.L.D., and I like that it's named S.H.I.E.L.D. because of Cap.
Because of Captain America.
Yeah, they just imply that really subtly. You know, we started S.H.I.E.L.D. because of you. And I love that it's named S.H.I.E.L.D. because of Cap having a shield. And, like, it's been a joke for a while. It's like, oh, someone really wanted our initials to spell S.H.I.E.L.D. is what it means. It's just... I thought it was really, really brilliant to do it that way.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I've got nothing else to add, so I think we're going to wrap up. Ian, thanks a lot for joining me, bro.
Oh, thanks for doing this. This was a lot of fun. I've been wanting to geek out about the movie, and I'm really excited to have had the chance. Best Marvel movie to date. Go see it.
Yeah, definitely go check it out if you haven't already. And if you haven't already, just what the fuck's wrong with you? Just go see it.
Why'd you watch this? This is almost the length of the fucking movie. What were you thinking?
No, not even close. No, we only went for an hour and 16. The movie's like 2.5.
Okay.
So we didn't come close. But anyway, thank you very much for watching, listening, whatever the fuck it is you did. It was beautiful. Be sure to check out Geeky Gentleman on SYDPART2's channel, and subscribe to SYDPART2 for, I don't know, Ian, give him a reason to subscribe to you.
Tits and ass.
Alright, tits and ass, man. That's where you're going to go to SYDPART2. Anyway, so until next time, I'm Zazubaar.
And I'm SYDPART2.
And Captain America throws his mighty shield.
Oh, and Captain America
throws his mighty shield.
He throws his shield to
his shield.
I don't know
the Captain America throws his mighty shield. Bad Capella episode 2.